Next year. Contact them, find out what it is.
Hey Ben, you want to do a little etiquette? If people are talking, nobody's moving around. Mute cell phones. Blah blah blah.
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a bad guy.
Yeah.
All right. So when folks are presenting, please don't move around. Talk a lot. You can mute your cell phones too. You can text cool things, you take pictures. That's fine, but just like courtesy for people who are up here presenting.
Oh, who's the first? Couch game.
Oh, couching tiger, getting.
Ben, you should just stop. What's that? Oh, okay. Hello. All right. Well, hello. I'm Jesse Rogers. For you guys that don't know me, I'm the lead for Couch Game. This is kind of our title screen. This is a template. We actually redid our title twice, and it just wasn't turning out. So this week we kind of just said, screw it. We're getting rid of it, and now we're doing something different. Unfortunately, that was a lot of work lost, but hopefully it'll benefit us in the future. We have a bunch of templates just to get the flow of the game going. We have our level select up and running. Again, just more templates. Character-wise, we got a bunch more characters in. We got our Hercules Beetle, which you can see I'm running around. We still have our Rhino down there, our other Rhino with his biker outfit, and our Pelican up here, which you can't quite see. I'm not player 2. Their health, all that stuff works. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. We got our camera up and running. That's actually in the works. I don't know if you guys can see it down there, but you got little plushies down there. That was just some artwork we wanted to throw and show you guys. That will be going in different sections. Yeah, that's about it for this section. Obviously, if you see, we don't have our screen captures, our little 2D pictures of the players. That's all little finalized stuff that we're going to be getting in later. For the jungle, our ruins jungle level, this is actually a work in progress. Don't be scarred. I'm sorry. But this is kind of how it's going. We're getting the models and all that in, which a lot of them haven't been implemented yet. Just so you guys can kind of see how it's supposed to be. This is kind of like the ruins area. Oh, let me get that big for you. Then it's destroyed. This is kind of what we're going for, but with more of a jungly look to it. So trees, ferns, all that stuff scattered around. Here's another photo, if it will load. Oh God, no. No, we don't want you. Oh God, no. Oh no, you guys don't get to see that. You don't see that. So some of the other assets in there is going to be like our totem poles. This is what they kind of look like in game. This allows us to move them different ways. This is actually going to be shooting like darts and stuff at the players to have that more environmental thing. Oh God, fireworks, stop it, please stop it. As for other, oh God, there's too many tabs here. We have animations coming in. They will be implemented here soon. So like our Hercules Beetle here. Kind of looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat, just, you know. So we're looking to push a big push towards the end. Just finalizing things, getting things done. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Howdy, my name's Harlan from Oddity, and a lot of what we've been doing is, let's get rid of Firefox, Fireworks, has been trying to get some updates to the actual build. I've got the build downloaded here. I guess I could play a little bit of that for you, and for anyone who hasn't already seen a lot of it. Hopefully the music's not too loud, because this is one of the things that actually has sound to it, but yeah, we've been working with the title screen and breaking up sections of the game. And all right, so yeah, a lot of the same basic stuff, trying to animate more of the level. If you want me to actually, I forget, I have to delete files every time. Let me go ahead and do that. Yes. And this will actually allow me to show some of the cutscenes. But yeah, a lot of it is still pretty much the same. Although I have been working to allow us to actually upgrade some of the actual graphics so that it just has more atmosphere to it. Okay. But now we're actually getting it so that we can have cutscenes and stuff within game to add to the narrative, which I'll draw the rest of these little stills later. But yeah, a lot of stuff like that. And where's the PowerPoint? But yeah, I hope you like that. I have to make more. But for the majority of it, a lot of the graphics look like this for the majority, and I've been working to get it rebuilt in Unity so that we can have more materials and reaction to lighting and things like that. So spent quite a bit of time not sleeping and rebuilding entire environments so that we can add more to it. It hasn't been put up in the build just yet, so you can see I'm actually having difficulties with some of the other maps that allow for lighting to work properly. But yeah, just been balancing it out and trying to work around some of the moving of the camera with objects that are terribly 2D. Like this one is completely 2D, but it works fine. But some of the archways and things like that do not. And just scaling in general need to be worked on. But for the most part, we have a lot of stuff built for modular building. That way we can now build a majority of the land a lot faster. It's already textures and it's already unwrapped and textured so that everyone else can actually just put together entire rooms for the rest of the game and just assign materials for it. So that's all we're waiting to do now. But yep, that's what we've been working on, and thanks.
All right, hi, I'm Desiree Nienhaus with Mirrored, and I'm happy to say we finally have our cutscenes getting put into the game, so we get to see those today. Just keep in mind that they're all pretty much a work in progress still, so they're not fully polished or fully style matched to each other. So keep that in mind.
Hello everyone, my name is Kathy Norris, and this is our Week 10 build for Mirrored. This semester we're focusing on getting the 3D attic level fully functional and completing the first cutscenes and adding more quest NPCs and levels to the game. We've updated the attic level, making it bigger and adding new models and textures. We're having some issues getting the textures to work, which we'll focus on in the next coming weeks, but we have the new models like the grandfather clock into the level. This clock is fully animated and will be the location for the gears the player collects throughout the game. All the gears will fit together and animate, completing the clock, and the player will be able to see them moving behind the clock face. Lily now has room to walk around as well and isn't as cramped. The attic level has its own new theme music, and more music is being worked on for the cutscenes and level additions. This is the intro cutscene for the game. Lily will start sitting on her bed, reflecting on her past year. cutscene has been a major priority this semester, and we have all the base artwork done for all but 4 scenes. The art leads will be focusing on style matching and cleaning up the artwork in the next 5 weeks as the artists finish up the scenes. We have a new quest system in the game. Lily starts out by having to turn off her alarm clock and tours the farmhouse. We added a new particle effect to collectible items as well. NPCs and monsters are also being worked on. Eli the dog is now in the game running around, being a happy little dog. And Lily's adoptive parents' art and animations are being worked on. We also have a pig and a caterpillar enemy being worked on. A ton of new level art assets are being created, and the mirrored and regular schoolhouse is being mapped out and created. In the next 2 weeks, we'll be focusing on finishing and polishing the intro cutscenes, and fixing the textures in the attic level, as well as adding new NPCs and creatures into the game. Thank you so much for watching.
Hi everybody, I'm not Ian Goldsmith, I'm Dave. I'm a designer on the project. Ian couldn't be here today, so I'm going to be filling in. I did the build review and stuff. I'm going to talk over the video because there's a voice on it, but I don't actually like listening to recordings of myself, so I'm just going to talk. So here we go. So this first level is kind of like what we're going to use for the main menu, where you can start picking out like to host a game or to join a game. And that'll kind of play. We started revamping the actual island that we'll be playing the game on. The old one was too big, so we shrunk it down. It's to kind of encourage players to start interacting much more quickly. This is a mock-up, and it's going to be implemented in the game for the final version of our lobby. There's going to be a chat box. The teams, you're supposed to click on them, and you'll switch between. This is the actual build. There's not a lot going on, but we do have combat fully implemented. You can deal damage and take damage. You can left click, you'll move up to the nearest enemy, and you'll attack until they die if they don't run away. Damage is dealt between players, as you can see. Well, you can't really see too well, but it does change. It goes down. If you right click on an enemy, you'll move up to them, and you'll attack them unless they run away or die. And there is support for much more than 3 players, but because of the number of computers we were on, we were experiencing lag. This is a T-pose for a model that we're going to be implementing rather than using the Unity mannequin. We have animations, but they don't work in Engine yet. But we do also have an AI, just a passive AI. They run around the level. They look for a resource that's invisible to the player, but it's basically their food. And they run around trying to find it. If they don't eat it, they die. And they run away from the player if they see them, and then search out a different food item that they're not near. And the player can hunt them, kill them, and gain meat and stuff. These are models for the different buildings and other things. So they'll help with the crafting system, giving you more items to craft, as well as expanding your inventory. So your class only has a certain number of slots. But things like barrels and crates, you can put stuff in, and I'm sure it could help also organize base camps when you make them, so you could keep all the stuff that goes with the forge near the forge, and all the stuff that goes with the spinning wheel near the spinning wheel, etc., etc. So I'll skip ahead. So we have all these models, but we don't have any functionality in game for them yet, to create them and place them. And then we also have models for our various weapons. There's still more to be done of each of them, and they'll be done probably over the course of the next sprint, but our main goal is to get inventory working, as well as things like the personal resources, so your heat and your energy actually draining and affecting the player, because those aren't in and the player doesn't have an inventory, and then collecting items from an inventory, like if you kill the deer and then you loot it for its meat and other things that could be useful to you. So that's kind of it. I'll post it somewhere if you want to like listen to me talk more. I'd also like to thank on behalf of Ian all the online students. They did a lot of hard work over this last sprint, and we're excited to work with them for the next sprint. But other than that, we're doing pretty well. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Kenny Ryan from the Crimson Knights team, and we made a short video that shows off the last 5 weeks worth of work. So here we go. So basically, that was all the stuff we have. We now actually have a small little app game you can download on your PC or on your Android device. You can find it on our Facebook and Twitter. It's just a little like ad game that we created. It's just something short. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Donald Shepis. I'm the team lead for Happy Skies, and this is Tony Johnson, lead designer and scrum master for Happy Skies. So go ahead and play the game while I talk about it. So this week we saw a lot of moving parts come together to actually form kind of the core gameplay of our game that we can just move on from here, and all we're really building out is more and more content. So as we get in, you'll see that we actually, well, first off, we've got our character GUI up and running a little better. We've got our character cooldown in the bottom right, so that way when you use a power, you're going to have a visual representation of that happening. You can also see we've added sound effects and particle effects to when you pop the balloons. It's a little more visceral. It feels better, especially when you're playing on mobile. So that way, popping the balloons is actually a little more fun, and it feels like you're actually doing something. We've also updated the way our levels are created. So now we actually have where the camera drags the player along through each level, and then they'll be thrust into the air to cover the zone transitions where they come to a new level. So now the gameplay is technically infinite. So long as you continue to have balloons, you continue to pop enemies, and you can keep going to the right, you can play forever. And that's kind of our main focus, is making sure that you can play for as long as you want. If you want to play for 5 minutes and then put it down, you can. If you want to go for a marathon session and play for 30 minutes and try and get 100,000 points in score, then you can do that. And it's also setting us up so that way all we have to do now is make more content. We're just making more levels, more zones, new enemies, things like that, just to flesh out and have more things to do. So now we don't have to worry about creating our core functionality behind the scenes. We're just building stuff that the player's going to see and interact with. So in the future, you're going to see a lot more enemies, you're going to see more zones, and you're going to see more characters being brought in with different powers. And let's get them. I haven't been watching, so I don't know if you got to a transition yet. So.
Yeah, I already have.
You did? Okay. So you all saw how he got thrust up into the air, because the thing with Happy Skies is we want to be able to go around the world. But limiting ourselves to just following a linear path made it very boring. So now the player gets thrust into the air, and the air currents take them to whatever next spot in the world they're going to be. And the other thing that we're going to be working on in the future is getting our landmarks in. So that's something we've been talking about since day one, is having landmarks in the background that you play a little bit again. Well, now we've got the systems for it. All we have to do is make the animations and the interaction events. That's been Happy Skies. We hope to have something with all of our gameplay in by the end of this 5 weeks. Thank you.
So at least, I think it's Deadly Explore.
No, it's both marks.
Yes. Oh, it is? Oh. W, whatever.
All right. For mine, we have some placeholder music in here now. This is our castle level that we've been working on. This is what we plan to complete for our next milestone, along with all the other textures and particle effects that we're going to add in there. We have our health bar working. Our key actually is drained whenever you use an ability or power. We have it so the castle level itself is big enough to hold multiple players. So it's good for fighting and combat in there. We haven't added any destructible things in there yet because we're still working on white boxing the whole thing, making sure it's adequate enough to battle in. Yeah. Also, we're trying to add in some transitional elements into the castle. So when we do get the castle done, you'll be able to have a choice to either stay in the castle or go to the city, drop down to the city. We have our menus working as well. We have a pause menu, and as well as a menu for the graphic interface, like if you want to have higher quality graphics or low quality, if you want to change the audio, or if you want to level select, even that. This is what I'm about to show you now. Pause menu, you can quit or resume the game. In the main menu, you can level select. There's different types of options to choose from. We don't have the controls in there yet, but that's what we're planning on implementing next into the menu itself. When you go to level select, right now, since we only have these two levels, it automatically takes you to the forest level. And for our forest level, we actually have destructible rocks now. I just put that in the sky so you can see it explode when it does blow up. So for that, the destructible rocks is going to be actual items players will be able to pick up and throw at other players to add on to the different attacks and stuff, to give the players a little bit more feeling when they fight. I have the spells are cyclable, so you have 4 abilities that you can cycle through that you'll be able to activate with left clicking if you would want to. We have enemy spawns, as well as the double that works. He follows you anywhere. Whenever there's an enemy, he automatically goes to attack him. You can't really see it, but yeah, he's down there attacking them. I have the hitboxes. Each of these orbs right here is high attack, low attack, and medium attack. So they all work. So they all, do damage to the player. And that's what we have so far. We plan on implementing a lot more particle effects and character models as well. That's what we're working on now. So yeah. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tyler Cook from Deadliest War. So we have gotten a lot done in this sprint. We changed the layout of everything dramatically, which you'll see right away. So we changed the jump height, so it's not too crazy anymore. But immediately you see the change in the layout. We got transitions implemented. So we're going to go to the Elder's Hut here, and we have Elder animations in. And the white box of the Elder's Hut is done. A lot of what we have past this inner village scene is placeholder art right now. But all of the white boxes are completed and just waiting on more art. So this is the outer village white box. We have some just placeholder textures in the background. Everything in the scene will end up being art eventually. The green boxes will end up being NPCs, and they will be fully interactable. And this is our forest scene. This will be the final scene until you go back to the inner village. And then these two NPCs at the end are going to end up being enemies that will drag him back to the village. So that's currently what we have implemented. Sprint 3 will be about all of us really working together to get questing in. So it's more than just kind of walking around. But that's it for us so far. Thanks, guys.
How did I log in as you? I just logged in as myself.
Yeah.
I think that's a private message from you. No.
Does it matter?
Yeah, I should be able to. That's all I'm trying to.
Click the plus sign next to channels to see the other channels.
Yeah, but then that joins the channel for her. Let me log out.
I need section currently.
How do I log out?
I think you go to the brackets underneath.
talk over it because I rambled a lot. This sprint, we lowered our scope and we focused a lot on art, and I have to say my online artist did a fantastic job getting me everything I needed. We got everything in our new scope except for 2 images completed, and those will be to me by the end of the weekend. Eventually I'll start cycling through. I was explaining that I was using debug code to go through the images and show you the different negative and positive and neutral variances of the images. This right here is the negative B. Skip through where I'm cycling through them a little more. But I was impressed with my art team. We got everything we wanted done this week. We're at our goal, our reduced goal of 25 images, or sorry, 75 images, 25 animals. And now all we have left is polishing and finishing the menu. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm John, I'm the lead designer of Mortal Coil. So let's just get right into it. We had a little icon in here. As well as splash screen. All right, so one of the first things that you might notice straight away is we actually have a new button down here at the bottom of the screen. And if I click on it, it'll switch over to Templar. So you can actually switch between the 2 factions. You can play as either side as you want and get a little bit different gameplay experience. But we're just going to grab the vampires and go right into the game. We also changed up the angle a little bit just to kind of give a better perspective for the player. We've extended the spring arm. And we've just been working to change up the art. We have a new art production pipeline, so you can see a lot of little cracks and chips and stuff in our walls. So we're getting ready to overhaul a lot of this art. And while you might, and one of the other things that we have here on our field is the progress that we have on our ghoul. You can see the scars and stuff on throughout his skin. His bones sticking out the side there. Then the next thing, we'll actually see the Templar units on the field here, but there are no vampire units. That's partially because of this new UI here we have up at the top. We can switch between our various characters, and you have a max unit allocation score, so you can grab whatever unit you like and just kind of pop them down on the field. If you wanted to have a few of him, you can go right ahead and you'll have a few really powerful units. Or if you want, we'll just have a bunch of smaller units. And you don't even have to really use all of your score if you don't want to. You can just hit begin match and continue on from there. One of the other things you'll notice is that you actually don't see the movement squares right away. It waits until you actually hit what's going to become our action key. Then it'll show you exactly where you can move to. And we're actually just going to activate one of the debug tools. And it actually occurred to me after I made the build that we forgot to remove one of the older sounds. So that's still in there. There is a small visual bug at the moment. For whatever reason, when a unit dies, it shows their maximum attack range. It's really not affecting anything, so we're not overly concerned about it. But we'll just go through and wipe out the rest of these units. That was weird. All All right, and the reason I wanted to kind of get through this a little bit more quickly, we still have our victory screen up, but now rather than taking us back to the main menu, it actually takes us to our next level. The level system has been set up in such a way that you can kind of add as many levels as you like, and eventually, once you reach the end, then it will take you back to the title screen. This was the level that was designed for us by our online student in the last 5-week sprint, but he didn't quite get it on time to us to show it off, so I figured I'd show it off this time around. There are a few little issues with this. You can see the edges pretty easily, but it's just meant to be the white box of a graveyard level. And we still have the same mechanics in play, so you have the Megalo there, you can pop him down, and I'll just start the matchup. And that's really all I've got for you. We'll have new elements to the UI in the next 5 weeks, as well as just a few other odds and ends. We have some models that I didn't add into the build simply because they weren't textured yet. But we have little pieces of set design to kind of really fill out the level. And that's about it. Thank you.
Cool. Well done, everybody. Round of applause for everybody. Good job. Sprint 2 looking really good, so I'm really happy with the direction all the games are going. Actually, it's really good. I'm surprised since we have 10 again that you guys are all really kicking some butt. So keep it up for Sprint 3. Again, when you're planning on what you're doing, make sure you take into account some of the things that have been successful and not so successful this time around. And Derek, did you want to say a few things? See you creeping up.
I'll say some things.
Out of the shadow.
I have a better shirt than you.
You can't. I will get one. Now you owe me one.
2 of these exist. They're both in my closet. Yeah, a couple quick things. I got a cool shirt. There's that. I made it for GDC, so that's why I built it. So in somewhat of a self-promoting fashion, but also in order to help the studio get some recognition and by extension get you guys some recognition, I got nominated for an award. It's Connect to STEM. If you just type connecttostem.com, and if you come in here and click on this, scroll down, it's this one here, the Creative Media Award. We want to crush Stephanie. I'm sorry, Stephanie. You seem like a nice person, but you're from Tucson. So if you click on this button, you get to vote. Let's see how I'm doing. Where am I? I'm winning 51.2 to 48 point, or guess 8. So from what I can tell, you can vote once every 24 hours. There's quite a few of you here.
Everybody vote once now.
Yeah, I've voted a couple times, and it made a pretty big difference. I think this morning it was 50-50, and I voted over there, and it was a 1.2% difference. So if you would, please vote for me, because what I like about it, it might have been in my email, if I win, there's like some promotional videos and stuff that they are going to make about what we do here. And a lot of that I will point directly to both the studio and your guys' work within the studio. So while it is self-serving for me to win the award, I can't give it to all of you guys. By extension, you'll get some recognition out of it. So plus I just want to win. Once someone voted, I think this is Allie's fault. I believe I have heard that.
I was wondering what I didn't realize.
The Allie was the nominating body, so we'll blame her for my horrible self-promotion. So that's that. I'd appreciate your vote. If you don't vote for me, Donald Trump will become president. So it's your fault.
So vote for Derek Trump.
Vote for me for president or this award. Whichever you think is more appropriate. No, the bills look really good. I'm really happy with what you guys are doing. Definitely nice job there. I'm not going to take a lot of time because I have about 100 things to do today. So great job. Self-promotion over. I have a cool shirt. Oh, I've got this shirt too. I got my Amazon Lumberyard shirt with zombies on it. Got it all going on today. All right, I'm out of here.
Wait, how do I vote? This is weird. Okay, wait.
Yeah, voting on the phone is a little
just
harder.
voted for her. I did?
Riker, you just voted for her.
Okay, so Ben is voting for the two-side meeting.
All right, so 2 of you vote for him. Quick.
If you're on mobile, you've got to go through like.
Yeah, it's a little harder on the mobile.
They've got two like blue bars that
Find my name and go underneath it to vote.
You can hit the second one, go to awards.
It'll be really impressive when I go out and look after this and like I'm losing like 75% to 25%. Because all voted for Stephanie. She probably deserves it more. So if she wins, she wins.
You make my life a little difficult once in a while. So.
I do make your life a little bit difficult. All right, I'll be around all day. If you guys have questions, comments, anything. GDC was great. I'll tell this group something. I'll maybe try to do it next week. This week has just been insane. I do want to get a meeting together that is a kind of a post-mortem of GDC, both for people who attended and people who didn't. My themes for the meeting are going to be just sharing of information, but also if you saw things, you're like, hey, this is cool. It would be really cool if UAT did this or had this. I want to capture all that information so I can put it as part of my research studies and stuff I do over the summer. So be watching for that. We'll get some announcements out. I'm going to try to get it done next week. So like I said, this first week back, I just got my email cleaned out like last night. It's been kind of
you can choose them here.
but yeah, GDC was
just
great.
sign up to anyone and then
VR GDC. So if you want to talk about GDC,
this is one. I'm just trying to.
All right, I'm done babbling.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek. See y'all. Yeah. Nice work. Amazing job.
Woo! Vote for Derek. So now we've got Dan and Vlad. We're going to show up what they're up to. So take a little mind break from what you're working on. But again, really, you guys are doing some awesome stuff.
That's
one thing that I did want to say, Derek mentioned, like the IGF awards. Remember you guys applied for some of those?
First when you get
them.
the fucking thing.
Well, don't feel so bad because I saw the games that were there, and our games could totally be up there. I later started talking to people about how the IGF awards actually work. It's pretty political. So
You got it. No.
We're not part of, we're not at certain schools and these kind of things. It's hard to kind of get the votes through there. A lot of times the judges will just kind of get a bunch of stuff to vote for, and they just choose what they know, and that's kind of it. So, so things like what they're trying to do is getting promotion for the school, getting promotion for this particular course, and getting promotion for your projects will help a lot as we keep moving forward. So the other thing is remember to like and share all of each other's stuff. So if you're not already following each other on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else you are, make sure you do that.
All right, we're trying to get the video up going there. These buttons are actually just making it go into there. See what I'm saying? That's number 3. This is number 1.
Oh, something's working.
You need number 1.
Though.
Yeah, I mean it's going here.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, sweet. Woo! All right. All right, everyone. Let me just put this station. It's all good. Yeah, so we are an indie developer. We're Data Realms. We made a game called Cortex Command a while ago. Anyone ring a bell? Wow, this guy. He's old enough.
This is why they hired me last year.
Right. So it's been on Steam for a few years. We actually started selling it on our own website a few more years before that. It is something I started making in high school and when I was in Sweden back in the day. Literally 14 years ago or something like that now, half my life ago. I'm gonna see if I can get this video actually playing. That'd be good. If not, it is a side-scrolling. Wow, that's going really slow. I'm going off of my. What's the Wi-Fi situation here? Can we get that going?
Yes,
okay.
All right, Skytail.
Skytail. That's pretty rad. Yeah. So can we get that? We got Trello. We got all these things. So the resolution is a little lower. Yeah. Sky. And then what's the password there? There's none. Okay.
Oh, that makes it easy.
Woo! All right.
Got to log in right now.
Skytail. Yeah. There you go. Cool.
Yeah, so we just got all your login infos and your personal data.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. You'll get an email about our game pretty soon, apparently.
Right.
Your Steam accounts will buy it. So.
You know we have a cybersecurity program, right? Your stuff.
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh, snap.
That's
yeah.
awesome. So yeah, you won't hear the music very well. But the whole concept of the game is a side-scrolling thing where you can dig into the ground, very much like Worms. It has these RTS elements. We had like 100 different things in that you can build and buy and so on. But then we had a very active modding community as well. Maybe we can do that. We had a very active modding community because I made it very moddable for my own purposes. And it surprised me how many people actually wanted to mod the game. Over the years, we got even reports of people graduating with computer science degrees because they had gotten into Lua scripting by playing the game in high school. So they chose computer science because of that. It blew my mind. I didn't even graduate myself, so they did better. But the stories inspired me to, for our next project, really lean into that and actually make it moddable from the ground up. We've worked on that. So ultimately we won 2 awards at the Independent Games Festival at GDC in 2009, Technical Excellence Award and Audience Award, I believe, which was very cool and humbling as well. But like I've said, we've been on Steam and so on. It's actually funded the next game that we started in 2009, which is Planetoid Pioneers, and I'll just move on to that. And we have, there we go. We have our page up on Steam already, and we're launching early access next month, April 15th, which is 3 weeks from now, which is nerve-wracking because a 7-year-old project.
You can put the audio on this, right?
I think so, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I got that. So this is a little temporary video we have going here. I don't know if I can make this work. Yeah. It's not pixel art anymore. It's all digital painted art in this. And we have a whole physics engine that we built from scratch that we also then built a bunch of tools on top of. So that's why it's taken so many years for us to make this happen. I'm going to launch the game right now, and we can actually check it out.
Yeah. So when Dan does that, I'll just give you guys a little bit more background. So yeah, he started on his own, and there was very organic development. He did 2 things you guys should do too as a programmer, which is he commented his code incredibly well, and he made his game moddable. Yeah. So when he started selling it while it was still in development, a lot of people picked it up and started modding themselves. And as a result, we have that legacy. We have a very organic modding community that has followed us over that decade. And we're taking these guys to the next project, which in this case is Planetoid Pioneers. Now, just a couple of data points. We've had over 400,000 copies sold. Half of them were on Steam. Half of them were through our own website. Like Dan said, we have spent the last 7 years mostly on the engine, building this game on top of that. And we are a completely virtual team. So I am here for a month. But technically, I live out of my suitcase and travel the world representing Data Realms to show off the game and pretty much pulling what most people refer to as an Alexander Bruce, the creator of Anti-Chamber, who pretty much traveled the world and made the game throughout the development of that game. Right. So, Dan?
Yeah, talking about the team a little bit, I started making Cortex Command on my own. I had the vision that I'm going to make everything on my own, including art, audio, everything is going to be made by this guy. And I realized very soon that I was not as good as some people in making art. So I brought in an artist, and my programmer art kind of went away, which was a blessing. And then every role, since then has been replaced gradually by me delegating, which is a very challenging thing to do for someone who wants to make a game, and it's now we're 20 people in 10 countries on 4 continents working on this. Not everyone is full-time. There are a few full-time people, Vlad and myself included, and there's some people in Eastern Europe who are full-time, but pretty much everyone else is a part-time thing. But it just gives perspective on that.
It enables us to work with a very diverse group of people and get a very strong variety of expertise on board. And because we're virtual, we get to work with people that normally we would never be able to get if we would have to relocate them, including our artist, Arne Niklas Janssen, also known as Android Arts, who's made most of this art.
Or Prometheus,
he's somewhere on an island in Sweden. He's 40 years old, lives with his parents. Blizzard, Pixar, all those guys want to work with him. He says no. but he works with us because we can provide him with that kind of lifestyle that he appreciates, which is just staying where he is and doing what he wants. So that keeps our burn rate low because we activate some of these people, kind of like almost, sleeper agents, I would say. Not that we're terrorists, please don't arrest us. But it allows us to keep our burn rate low, which means, the monthly costs for running this team are low, and we get access to people that you would never normally be able to get into a AAA studio, but are AAA talent. So
yeah, so I'm showing off a little bit of our physics engine here that does stuff in 2D that literally no other physics engine that we could find does, which is really good destructibility, handling of a large heavy object sitting on a bunch of small objects, lighter objects that it doesn't vibrate or kind of fall into each other. When things break, they do so dynamically based on the materials they're made out of. So we kind of built everything on top of this to make it super easy to add assets to the game. I'm actually with the touchscreen right now, pointing at the screen, but I want to add, well, we're going to use this poor woman again. This is a IGN employee at GDC. We did a stream with them, and we put her face in there real quick. We just made a, like a super rough cutout you can see in Photoshop of her face, just the alpha, and the engine automatically figures out where that alpha outline is, and now you've made a new object in the game by just dragging her in. So if I then walk over, turn off the editor and walk over there, you'll see that I'll start colliding with that hair immediately. If I want to play test and just rotate her and make a ramp out of her head, we're just going to do that. We can even deform, completely, and it's super fun actually to be editing in the editor, especially with the touchscreen that are coming out on laptops now, and Windows is made for more or less these days. So if I unpause and want to play test, I can crawl up her face. So you get the idea that getting stuff into the game is super quick and easy. Everything gets automatically, all these art assets. Yes, it's a 2D game, but that is a strength because you don't need to have to go through a modeling program or anything like that. You can just paint literally in MS Paint, as long as you have a kind of an outline of the alpha, it'll use that. You can even drag in stuff from browsers. You can use the Google logo if you wanted to. Whoops. If I can actually grab it. Is that not happening?
It is.
Yeah. Whoops. No. It might be like some crazy.
Yeah, just pick a random image.
Yeah, I can
just type in dog or bird.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So and that'll be put into the game as well. Just okay. Here we go. Doggy.
Boop.
Yeah. So now the doggy's in the game. So we've built everything, like I was saying, deliberately to be put into our players' hands. All these tools and people like yourselves as well to build stuff with this engine, which we call a Crush 2D engine. So if you guys are interested in messing around with anything I'm doing here today that you see, you are more than welcome to sign up for our Pioneer program, which is closed beta that we're running for the next 3 weeks left before our Steam Early Access launch.
Yeah.
And you'll get a copy of the game and the editor that is all built into it. So it has everything that you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to experiment with a 2D engine that has world-class physics and stuff like that, and where you can put, yeah, that's not you.
So nowadays, as some of you guys know, you have to make games not just fun to play, but fun to watch. Now, I joined the team exactly 2 years ago. I started helping out Dan, and I joined the team last year. So this is my second time in Phoenix. Love it here. Great town. But as you can see, you need to also make games that allow the contemporary influencers and some of the most powerful marketing out there, which is on YouTube and Twitch, to allow these people to come in and really personalize the experience. Make sure that it's something that they can present to their audiences, right? So, switching over a face is a very low barrier level of entry kind of thing that you can do in the editor. Everything, the engine that we've made is C++ based, but everything inside of the game is Lua script. Okay, Dan used Lua script for Cortex Command. It's a very popular scripting language to use. It's used in GTA games, World of Warcraft, Blizzard uses it. You know, a lot of companies do. And as you can see, one of the powerful things is, why did we invest so much in the editor? Why are we shipping the editor with the launch of the game? Because of what we saw happening organically at Cortex Command. There is an inherent desire we've seen in our market research of people wanting to express and materialize their creativity. You know, Minecraft actually pushed a significant envelope there, but it's stacking blocks. We might have removed one dimension, but we're adding a level of depth that's unprecedented. You know, there are Newtonian physics being simulated in this game. You can go in and give material properties to certain characters. You can make the head of a character heavier, and before you know it, he has to drag his head across the freaking floor to get some places. Dynamic destructibility that we couldn't find in other 2D engines. So, you know, I'm proud to say, you know, when we were at GDC, I saw the faces on the tech people that we met. This is the most sophisticated 2D engine out there at this point, and we're not even, you know, promoting it that way because we're a game development team. We're focusing on making this game. Tech, having your own custom tech, if some of you guys have that, does open a lot of doors with big hardware developers and platforms. So we've had all the meetings, Google, Apple, you know, Valve, all of those guys, Sony, Microsoft. When they see this, they understand that we're doing something significant here. And I'm not even talking about the fact that because of our legacy with modders, we are really trying to stimulate user-generated content. That's where you guys come in as well. You might have seen a little logo there. Everything that you make in this game, you can share eventually.
Yeah.
And
very easily as well.
Yeah,
So
and that means that we'll have full Steam Workshop integration, and we're actually going to be pushing the paid Steam Workshop. Yeah, so you can see for yourself.
So I'll just show that off right now since we're talking about it. Once you've actually built something with these tools, I'm not going to go into a tutorial of all the editors and stuff. We have tutorials. We're actually working on tutorials. Yeah, so we have tutorials in here. There's a whole help panel that if you hit the that's me. There's a help. There's a wiki that has tutorials in it that is not going to point to. We're moving them over to the Steam workshop or the Steam guides. But yeah, if you want to do anything in here, change the look of a Pioneer like I was doing before, this is a step-by-step tutorial on how to make it look like, you know, these fine gentlemen. And you just drag, you know, images into the editor and use them immediately as a physics object that gets generated by the alpha outline. And once you've made something, then you can just drag it onto your desktop or into Slack or into Discord and share it with a friend immediately. You got to ramble?
No.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, so
I'll let you ramble.
Okay, good. We're in ramble mode officially. But yeah, we made this robot, let's say, right? And we can now drag it onto the desktop, like I said, here.
Or even better, we can drag it into Discord.
Yeah, that's right. So we have Discord running here. This is where you guys actually will end up if you sign up for the Planetoid Pioneer program. I will write that. That's fine. So we have we just blasted an email out to move people from Slack to Discord for our program. So this is where you're going to end up. There's a channel in here called Blueprint Share. And
there's already stuff in it. You can just drag it out.
There is. I want to drag it stuff in first to kind of show. So from the game, we have a library of all the blueprints. This is what things get saved to when you edit them in the editor and hit save. It becomes one file, which is a PNG file. You can upload it to Discord, and it magically appears just like a regular PNG would. It's not anything fancy yet. However, if we want to use that in the game, if I reset, I can drag it. You know, let's say someone else makes something, and I want to check it out. I can drag it into the game, and it just comes to life because we've saved all the extra data about that guy in there. So if I want to check out some of the other stuff in Discord that is in this channel, that is not, I don't know what this is. Test walker. Some kind of walker guy. Okay, so he's walking around. He's dancing with wheels. But yeah, these images contain everything about the object, including the textures, the audio, the scripts, the physics properties, and yeah. So we have a pretty cool way of sharing these assets with each other. We also have the Steam integration working. So the workshop will be launched with the game at early access.
Feel free to demo it what we're talking about. Because one of the cool things about this is, it's just metadata that is hidden inside the PNG file. So as you can see, it's very easy for you to create something, upload it to the browser. Browser's going to be like, oh, it's all good. It's an image.
Yeah.
So pretty much any kind of service that doesn't compress your image turns into something that you can share your creations with, right? So pretty much everything except Instagram and Facebook. And so as a result, sharing, but also like creating is we're trying to make as easy as possible. Sharing, we're going to try to make as easy as possible. We already are. And collaborating is going to be awesome, because imagine, one of you guys is an awesome programmer, the other is an awesome artist. You make an awesome robot as a programmer, but with really crappy programmer art. It's just a drag and drop in Slack, for example, for the other person to open up the character in their editor, replace the textures, save, send back, and publish. So with the paid Steam Workshop, we're using Valve's own solution to, for example, allow you guys to earn money if we select and handpick your creations from the workshop in order to turn them into paid items.
So there's going to be.
I see a question over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to ask about you guys think about using like certain image hosting integration, like take an Imager URL, just put that in the game and upload something.
Like I said,
Well,
anything
you could
doesn't
drag it
compress
in. We wouldn't even have to integrate that. You could just drag it from your browser. You have Imager, and just the browser is sitting there. You can drag it in. Let's do that right now. Why not? Yeah. So I'm firing up Steam and so on, so I can actually show off that as well. But
so what's really cool about this is, we have this existing modding community. We had them initially on Slack. We've actually pulled an all-nighter, which is maybe why we don't look like the sharpest.
We're a little rambly right now.
Yeah. Because we just had we just sent out an email to 2,000 people the hour before we were about to go to bed and speak next day.
Yeah.
And these people suddenly end up on your Discord, and you got to be there, right? You got to talk to these people. So
lesson learned.
Yeah.
In general, we're here for three reasons. One is to check out your games and give feedback. I've been doing this for 15 years now, so
10 years.
You've been So we'd love to give feedback. The second one is to give a little bit of a inspirational story, maybe that you can do indie development and survive for 15 years. And the third one is to show you guys what we're working on, and we're hoping you guys would consider Crush 2D as a 2D engine alternative to what's out there already.
And pretty much, the cool thing is that we are actually ramping up our launch, which means that not only are we inviting you guys to join to see firsthand how we are gonna, juggle the flaming swords that is getting a game out on Steam firsthand through our Pioneer community here. But we will also be starting to live stream starting today. Actually, I think we'll start setting up our little studio at the office, and we actually have a deal with Twitch, which means that we will get front page for every single Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
Yeah. This time.
And that's going to be pretty cool, because you'll be able to see firsthand how someone pulls off a launch and hopefully succeeds.
Or tries to pull off a launch and maybe fails. But,
and obviously, I think that might be very educational and useful for you guys. Whatever we might not do well, you might be able to fix eventually. So
I wanted to show the Steam thing just to wrap things up. So when you've made something in the game, you can either just drag and drop things in and out of the game if you want to, or you could open this. Okay, this is not working. Hello.
Are you selected inside the screen?
Yeah, I'm selected inside the screen. The function button is not working anymore. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Sweet. So.
Are you logged on to Steam?
Yeah, there's all kinds of sounds going on. Yeah, we are. So we have Steam, and we can actually upload directly from inside here into the workshop. You can do workshop publishing, and if you have something that we've actually saved, which we need to do first, so I'm going to change this, hit save, boom, and then go back to the library. So it doesn't allow you to upload stuff that isn't yours. So you can create item with one button. You're not publishing to the Steam workshop. Not only these blueprints, but also the entire scenes. So the planetoids that you saw, if you make them and drag in a bunch of images and so on, hit save, that's going to be saved in the scene library, and you can also just publish that to Steam. It's not
So
going to pause like this.
It's going to be like, blueprints inside of a blueprint. So it's like blueprintception, but of course a planetoid is going to be like 30 megs, 50 megs, slightly bigger.
Ooh, we just froze. This is not the latest version. Okay, so here we go. So in workshop now, if we reload this, it should show us that we have more things published. Nope, never. Let's try this. We go to workshop. So everything is a work in progress, obviously, but the workshop here should show that we've just published that block. If I go to, wow, this resolution is awesome. Here, yeah, files whoa. Yep, I guess it didn't actually happen.
Well, it's got the bot worm.
Yeah, that one we've already published before. I just wanted to show that one would have worked, but this is the pre-GDC build, so we've actually had the guys in Europe working on this quite a bit, and it doesn't freeze when you hit that button anymore. Like, all these details need to be done. But yeah, we are working with Valve. We showed this off to them a month or two ago, where we're at right now, and they are going to allow us to do the paid workshop for our launch, which is exactly a year after another attempt
The
at
debacle
paid.
we shall not speak
Yeah,
of.
exactly. Yeah.
Which we agreed to not mention.
Right, for the paid workshop, you might have remembered.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much what we have. I want to show you where you can sign up for this to get a build completely free and join our Discord community.
Yeah, we're actually killing this off, but since we're actually speaking here and we're engaging with you guys, we love to get you guys on board right before we end this, because obviously, we're not going to be running this and allowing people to have access to a free build after we launch.
Yeah.
We are a very DRM free oriented company. So, our Cortex Command has been pirated a lot, but with a user generated content strategy, we believe that the more people actually get their hands on this eventually, the better, because that just means that we're going to find more people that want to create awesome stuff.
Yeah. So this is it. If you want to write down signup.planetopioneers.com.
Yeah.
You sign up with your name, obviously, but do mention here that this was a UAT thing. Just UAT would work to type in there, so we know that you guys came from here, and we'll push you through into the because there's about 3,000 people waiting in line right now to get into the program. We've gotten about 2,000 through already.
Yeah, to make my life easier and not hand you guys out individual cards, if I see someone signing up with UAT, I'll make sure to send you guys a Steam key from our previous game, Cortex Command, just like that.
Yeah. So you'll be bumped up to the line, and then you can play around with the tools and feel free to participate in the Discord. And
ask us any questions.
Yeah,
because obviously we don't want to take up too much of your time. Because Ben was so kind to invite us on the last minute and present to you guys. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have a lot to do. It's Friday. Everyone wants to get stuff done and go home. But we will be available. We will be online. If you guys are genuinely interested in getting in touch with us personally, feel free to come up to us. We can give you our cards. It's very easy for me. It's vlad@datarealms.com.
Or they can contact you.
Yeah, you can just contact me through here. You can see our devs are specifically marked. Discord is an amazing tool. It's actually designed for streamers, but we discovered that it has a lot of properties of Slack. Some things not, but it's an amazing way for us to engage with our user base. And we've seen instantly in the last 7 hours that adoption rates have been above average compared to Slack, and people are just talking to us, and that's great. So combine that with the Twitch streaming that we're going to do, and we'll really have that kind of deep community engagement.
So we went from Slack, which we had 1,000 people in for our Pioneer program. We're now moving over to Discord. So when you guys join, you're going to join the Discord thing instead.
Yeah. So join us on this amazing adventure. We'll hopefully have a success story. Either way, the conferences I've applied to give postmortems at, they're going to have something good regardless. I'm sure you guys will have a great story too, regardless if we succeed or fail after launch. So yeah, we hope we'll get that opportunity to maybe share those more deeper insights. I also have been looking more into analytics and data, which I'm happy to show with you guys. One of the things is, for example, our MailChimp email marketing that we just started with 7 hours ago. And those things are incredibly valuable. So anyone who's interested, just, you got the data, you got the links, just let us know, and we'll gladly answer and help you guys. So thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so Dan and Vlad, cool guys, super approachable as long as they're not too much into the grind. But reach out to them if you think it's cool, or if you just want to hear about their marketing. Obviously, they got a lot of people already following what they're doing, already have the ear of a lot of the studios and the platforms and stuff. So all that kind of stuff can be really useful to just kind of glean some knowledge from them.
Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention, but I've been speaking at universities ranging from US, UCLA, to Finland, to Bangkok, to Indonesia, to everywhere. The level of polish I've seen, like what year are these guys in?
I don't know.
It varies.
Yeah, second through fourth.
Well, anyways, regardless, the level that you guys have is above average I've seen on an international level. So you can definitely give yourself a pat on the back. And I'm not talking about just one specific project, just the level, the level of pitching, the level of presentation, the fact that most of you guys have actually not only prepared your presentation and were within the 5-minute time, but also actually made videos, has just blown my mind. And, you know, I'm really curious. I'm going to be speaking at RIT in a month from now after PAX. I'm really curious if they can step up their game and actually be equally worthy. So good, very good job.
Thanks, Wyatt. Round of applause. Good job. That being said, though, you're not off the hook. You guys still have to keep stepping up a notch. So. All right. We'll see you guys. Have some good lunch.
Stories from the battlefield, brother. I'm not sure if you saw the Facebook post, but it was like, oh my god.
No.
It was awesome. I mean, it was midnight, and Dan's like, I really want to get the CMOT. I really want to get the CMOT. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'm like, everything's said, and I'm like, should we really click this? He's like, yes. And I'm like, fuck. Are we supposed to like wake up early and give a talk tomorrow? Like, people are rolling in, and suddenly we're like 5, 10, 20, 30. Fuck,
something's going to happen.
And all the Europeans and Russians were like suddenly just going into Discord, and I'm like, okay, we're going to have to stay up for this. You know, we do it. But yeah, no, it didn't suck. I mean, it's part of the thing, right? It's like freaking launch time. Hi there. Link again. Oh, signup.planetoidpioneers.com.
I tried.
It's
really basic stuff that we do right now.
Planetoidpioneers.com. Yeah. And I'll give you my card. I saw that you guys have a Discord, so feel free to like. I'll tell Ben to just like do a add everyone and send you the link and stuff like that. Here's my card. Love it. Yeah, sure. So
they can't reach the DNS address.
Oh, you type Planetoid. Planet, like Captain Planet? Oh, ID. So that's
I just typed in Planetoid Pioneers, sign up and search.
Good job.
Expires. I'll just grab a voucher.
Sure. All right. We're prepping to launch, so we already have our Steam store page live, and then we're launching on early access on April 15th. And so what we're doing is we're going to be doing like periodical streams, no problem, up until that point. And we have a spotlight which specifically between 3 to 5 on Friday, every Friday from April 1st till our launch and beyond, a few days before, like a week beyond, to get front page, which usually attracts a lot more people.
Yeah, just check out what you're going to be working on and where you're going to be, and I'll track you down.
Your setup there. I don't know
What was it called?
How are you doing your rigging
Was it
animations for actually
set keys? Is that what it's called?
It's physics based.
It's all physics
It's built into the editor and it's physics based. So it's just like
I'll take it. So there's different poses. So every assembly, we call them different grades, is built from a bunch of different objects.
Yeah, just
and they're jointed.
You're going to be in the large comments or one of the ECs.
The shoulder joint and the elbow joint, all that stuff.
The poses I just kind of check are just.
Sometimes it's hard to find you guys.
I'm usually just like under the stairs.
Perfect.
And then when I told her we'll have the your arm can't go through. No, it's just Lynn. Phil trying to defeat a from commission.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's just a bunch of closing. I'm a huge champion of what we do and like
putting a static
actually, you know Paul. Probably around here.
Yeah, it's setting the poses of this bunch of different joints that you have.
So yeah.
So this joint pose, you want this pose. Here's one
to join us when we
Yeah,
oh,
let's
love to. Yeah. So this is Phil, by the way.
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah. Wait, you're the. That's right. You're the one with the permits and.
Yeah. Did I work with you on something?
No, we met at one of these creative things downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a meetup. I forget what it was called.
I'm not sure if
Creative
I
Fest.
tricked
No,
you.
not
Just saying that I was like some kind
yeah,
of
something like
behind
that. Yeah,
stuff. I was just wondering
you're right.
if there's a way to make up
Yeah, we
like
did meet.
late
This is why my
logs and
business.
stuff, because I just need to know so that if I could
And we're working on this game that.
Get them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take a look really closely
They're about to launch.
where you
April
are,
15th.
maybe you
I'll
can
send you
just
the
kind of fill
details so
me
you can
in.
just send everyone
Kind of way
the
behind,
exact
or-
Slack.
There's a lot of weeks where like I did
Oh,
work
cool, Phil
and then like I
Felix.
didn't end up doing
So
the
he-
full
this guy,
like, amount of
this guy's
hours and I
like the
didn't
one-
submit. So like I
yeah,
have as
one
long as I have to go
person,
back and get the data and just put them in.
Often
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where I am,
agent
but
for if you need
Which
permits
team
to
are you
film
working
anything
with?
around
Couch game.
Couch
He's
game.
the guy who
Okay.
gives you the
So for
That's
late
so
work,
cool. So
what I'm
you're-
gonna have you
you're-
do is
you're
make sure
like the
to,
kind of guy that like ends up having like Phoenix promoted.
and then for late submissions.
Yeah, well, we don't have
that's
incentive in
fine.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
check your
no.
team and make
No.
sure that your lead is signing
Well,
off
good.
on
We
whatever
don't want
you
more
have
people from
and
San Francisco to move over.
post it. Yeah.
So,
No,
we know.
Definitely make sure that
Let it keep
if
it a little
you feel like
secret.
you're
Like, I did
way
here twice.
behind
I
in
know, like, oh
hours,
snap! I don't want
that's
more people
something
to find
to
out.
consider
Same thing
too.
with Utrecht. Like, not a lot of people know Utrecht.
Get
which is,
with
like,
your
a
lead.
Dutch city.
They can do it and then keep
20,
you
30
posted.
But
minutes.
Dutch kindergarten by it?
Yeah, well, no, Dutch
He's
kindergarten.
from
Dutch kindergarten does that, but you know, like it's a quiet and not touristy spot. Even like Amsterdam attracts all the crazy people and tourism and stuff.